Say I won't.
Why y'all scared to be different?
Say I won't.
Why y'all scared to be different?
Say I won't.
We them outsiders, that's just how we live it.
Say I won't.
And I bet I will, you can say I won't.
Hi, I'm Cavan Simpson and welcome back to Speak Up. Now for today's topic, I would really like to talk about dreams and accomplishments. Now, for dreams, that's something that a lot of us have, and a lot of us have set goals or set out plans to reach such a dream or to reach such a goal, to accomplish such a goal or to accomplish such a dream. But one of the issues that we come across is that we perhaps might need some help in getting there. And what we find happening in our society is that persons don't really support dreams, but they support accomplishments. And it's quite odd because you might look at it and you might laugh, as I've laughed a lot, because what you look at as a dream, you look at a dream to be something that really and truly needs support, in order to happen. Depends on what that dream is specifically. And if it is that you need support to make that dream become a reality, but you hardly can find any support really and truly, because persons are perhaps attending to their own dreams or perhaps just not believing in your dream at all, and so they tend to shy away from helping you or to help you in your dreams or in your movements to achieve such a dream or to achieve such a goal, and as I mentioned previously that we support accomplishments and not dreams. It's quite odd that we do that, because when you look at accomplishments is just as the name suggests, you have already accomplished the dream. It has already become a reality for you. So it's quite odd that somebody would find or choose to support you when you have already accomplished something. And one of the most recent examples that we see in our society is that of Dalton Harris. And Dalton Harris is a superb singer. God bless him. So what we see with Dalton Harris is that he was actually the winner of the Digital Rising Stars in 2010, right? And from being the winner of the Digital Rising Stars in 2010, yes, he had a lot of support back then, but the amount of support that he had back then was just for a time being, really and truly. It was just for that season, I would say, right? And right after the Digital Rising Star, it was seeing that, Dalton Harris actually made attempts. He actually did some covers of songs, right? And if you would have checked, the views or the awareness surrounding these songs at that point in time, there wasn't much hype or any hype at all around it, but as soon as he, fast forward, to 8 years after that, he entered the X Factor, and there was this hype or this, this big brawl about him entering the X Factor, and persons were like excited, because it was something that it was a story that was building up, and persons were excited about it, and so a lot of persons, moved to supporting him in such a manner until some negative news broke, and if you are a human being, I'm hoping that you're a human being, I'm not an alien watching this, but if you're a human being, then you, and I say human being because I wouldn't want to put it down. I wouldn't want to base it on color or nationality or whatever it might be, because we realize that this is something that exists just throughout humanity, where if somebody tries to do something or to attain something in life, quite often we find that some negative force might just come up and try to take it all away from you. And so some negative news had broke, and so based on his nationality, we're well aware that of the lifestyle that Jamaicans live and how much they can criticize you as an individual. As I recall going to Camperdown High School, I remember our previous principal, Mistress Cook, she said something, and it's something that really touched me, and it has been in my mind for ever since then. She said something, and I kind of looked at it in such a way it wasn't reserved to just the school alone, but it was reserved to humanity. It could be expanded to go as a general thing for humanity in general. She said that at Camperdown, if you ever should touch the stage, right, at school, You should perform or do something, out of the norm. And if the students supported you, if they cheered for you, then you knew right there and then that you would do great things, because it was hard to please that crowd at school, right? And I think she also mentioned the fact that, well, she didn't mention this part, but this was something that I thought about, during the time of really thinking about what she really said, because it really touched me in such a way, because it was actually true, So I'm thinking about it and I'm saying, all right then, if it is that somebody wants to support you, or let's now bring it back to nationality, because if Jamaicans want to support you, then you are well supported. But if they decide to go against you, then you are well gone against, because they will be doing everything within their power to tear it or to take that away from you. And so it wasn't a matter of every Jamaican was against him or against what the news was really and truly, but it was just a matter of a few ants, and I would make the analogy that they're just ants, just trying to create a lot of problems for persons, and so a few persons were creating this excitement around a particular news, or a matter of fact, more than one particular news, and so it became the center of attention. And I thought about it, and the instant that I heard about these things, these news, really and truly, I was like, yeah, there goes Jamaicans, there goes our country being our country, there goes our culture, the negative side of our culture taking over, as it shouldn't be taking over in such a way, because it's something for us to be proud of, it's something for us to be, be happy for this young man that he's actually, taking such a step, and he's actually doing well at taking this step. And so we took a positive thing and we twisted it in a negative way. And so a lot of persons said that, hey, they were withdrawing their support for him. And I was like, okay then. Quite a few of the persons that said that they were withdrawing their support for him locally. It's not as if their support mattered in the first place. And I mean, him being aware of them supporting him could be a positive thing for him, yes, right? It could uplift him emotionally and all of that. But at the end of the day, it wasn't as if you were actually voting. It wasn't as if you were actually out here, creating a lot of excitement and saying, all right, then, hey, vote for him, my fans, vote for him, all of that. It wasn't as if you were actually doing that. You were just behind the scenes saying to a few person that, hey, he sings well, and at the end of the day, when you found out that, hey, the biggest story would be for you to be to go. The biggest story for you would be to go against him, and so you pushed to go against him, because right there and then you felt as if you had the power to hold him back or to keep him away from accomplishing what he set out to accomplish. And right after, a little bit after, I was actually worried. Honestly, I was actually worried. I prayed, and I was really hoping that, hey, he wouldn't allow this thing to tear him down to the point where he wouldn't achieve what he had set out to achieve. And because he seemed to be this emotional guy, and that's well understood, because I myself can be that emotional as well, especially when it is that you're out there doing something that you've dreamt about doing for all this time. And so he was trying to reach his goal, and there we were as fellow countrymen, trying to tear this person down, despite we knowing that, hey, this guy has been through a lot, and so this step that he has made for himself as an individual, as a human being, as a young man, is a positive move. And so we can actually help to motivate him to do better, and even to become even greater than he seemed to already be, at that point in time. And so we made negative news the highlight of the whole adventure, I would say, because it was really and truly an adventure. We know that Tasha and Chin had entered a similar competition. But at the end of the day, to be honest, I was more I was more involved in this competition for Dalton Harris because it kind of felt a bit more real. I mean, I'm not taking away anything from Tasha because Tasha is my girl as well, and yeah, stepfather loves you. Yes, but I'm not taking away anything from Tasha and what she had done because that was awesome as well. But at the end of the day, it was like one of the first real adventures for us as Jamaicans, and so it wasn't well supported, I would say, as it was as a Dalton Harris was supported, because quite a few persons didn't really know about it. A lot of persons had doubts, and so it was like Tessan had broken the that thing that persons believe that, hey, it cannot be done. Tessan had already broken that, so it was now within us to say, alright then, yeah, Dalton can actually win because Tessan won that before, and Dalton is going on great. He's like the male version of Atessa, just doing his thing, and I was like, yeah. So and it wasn't because of that why I supported him, because really and truly I had a connection with him even from his Rising Star days. Just as I had a connection with a Romain Virgo or a Chris Martin, or who else I would say, or even Cavan, and as we know, Cavan was one of the first winners of the was the first winner of Rising Stars, and so even though we haven't heard much from him after, but it was still, that level of excitement that you get, knowing that you're supporting somebody, and then after, throughout supporting that person, you see growth within that person, and you're like, yes, this person deserves to win. Or even now, more recently, where you have a Tasha, and so even for her, I'm expecting great things from her as well. So just to get back to the story, we allowed negativity to take over a positive movement, and it's not something that we should be proud of, because it cannot be that we're supporting somebody, but at the end of the day, as soon as we hear something negative about the person, we go running and say, hey, we're no longer supporting you, because you did this and you did that, and we've never really taken the time out to say, all right, then let's hear from this person to see what really happened. Let's hear from this person whether or not this person really meant to do this or really meant to do that. I'm not saying that we should make excuses for persons, but I'm saying that as individuals, we should support persons from the bottom of our hearts. And if it is that we're supporting persons from the bottom of our hearts, and it shouldn't be as easy for us to turn against them as soon as they falter, as soon as they fail, as soon as they do something that's negative in your eyes. And it shouldn't be as easy for us to turn against them, and to become their worst enemy, when previously you were like, yes, I'm your number one fan, and then within a couple of minutes or within a couple hours of hearing a bad news about them, without even verifying whether or not it's true, you're like totally against them. That's something that's negative, and that's something that I don't support, and that's something that really annoys me a lot. So getting back to the story completely, so this guy Dalton Harris actually made a great impact, right? And he has made a great impact, and I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart, because even if he didn't make a good impact for anybody else, I know that he had made a great impact for me myself. It motivated me, because I was like, it can be done. Even being a Christian, where you know that nothing is impossible really and truly, but at the end of the day, you're like, as human beings, we tend to have a lot of doubts. I don't know if you want to call me doubtful Thomas, but persons that know me personally know that I'm not one that really tends to doubt as much. But at the end of the day, doubts do come and they do go at the end of the day. So what I'm really trying to say is that I had slight doubts, but I was like, is it that they're ready for this? Is it that they're ready for a Jamaican to take over this competition? And thereafter, you found out that you realize that, hey, people really love this guy, and I guess they can just see the realness within this guy, and they just take on to it. And we know that Jamaicans have a lot of support worldwide, because Jamaicans have built a brand over the years. And all I'm saying to us is that even as it regards to that brand, we need to be careful, because it cannot be that we develop this mindset or continue to have this mindset that, hey, The moment somebody does something or you hear something and you say, alright, then it must go something like so, or it must go so, then it cannot be that you turn against a person totally because you heard something negative about them. Because at the end of the day, somebody can always say something negative about you. It must not, it might not be true, but it becomes the big news, right? And when it becomes the big news, then everybody tends to just go ahead with it, because given that it's big news, everybody gonna say, alright, then we believe it because it's big news. Like, who would lie about this? Like, you know. And we know how our people can be. You know, we can be great supporters and we can be terrible supporters at times. So what I'm trying to say is this: if it is that you have never supported somebody, then try to support somebody. And I'm not saying that you should just carelessly go ahead and support somebody, but support somebody from the bottom of your heart. Find somebody that hey, you see, that has been trying to do something for years, been trying to do something for a long while now, and you realize that hey, this person is genuinely trying to do this, and you know that hey, within yourself that you can help this person to accomplish this goal or to accomplish this dream, then you can help them to accomplish that goal or to accomplish that dream. And you don't have to feel bad within yourself to say, alright, then after you have helped this person to accomplish this thing, perhaps the person went along and perhaps messed it up by doing something bad. And God forbid, you know, but that can happen at times, you know. But we must understand that even while in the spotlight, or even while being an achiever, you know, or even while accomplishing things in the past, it's for us as human beings to learn from our mistakes nevertheless, because we will make mistakes as time goes along. And so even if that person should make a mistake, even if that person's mistake should be that hey, they have never told you thanks, right? Even if you've helped them for so long, then forgive them for it. Let it be that you did this thing from the bottom of your heart. You would never regret it. You would never regret helping this person. And if it is that you see this person shoot off to stardom, don't be like, hey, I helped that person to reach stardom. No, don't do that. Just give thanks that hey, the person has actually reached stardom, and so you know that hey, you can support somebody else in reaching that place as well. And if it is that you wish to do that for yourself, then you can support yourself in reaching there. And so hopefully we build this cycle that says positive things, that says alright, then it's good for us to support persons. It's good for us to support the bag juice man on the road. It's good for us to support the man that sells sweetie on the road. It's good for us to support the guy that hey, has a dream to become this big artist, that has this dream to become this big movie star, that has this dream to become this big minister, whatever it might be. You know, it's for us to support persons and support their dreams, support their dreams, so you can help to celebrate their accomplishments. It's not supporting their accomplishments and then help to celebrate their accomplishments at the same time. It's supporting their dreams, supporting their plans, supporting their goals, and then whenever the accomplishment comes, you can support the accomplishment. You can support, or you can extend, and you can extend your arms, and you can jump, you can shout, you can sing praises to God and say, God, thank you. The person has reached a certain level, and then you can celebrate with that person. That's just how it should work. It shouldn't be that you're out here celebrating accomplishments. Accomplishments don't need to be as celebrated if you have never helped this person to reach where they are. That's just the reality of it. How would you feel if you struggled to purchase a cake, right? And in struggling to purchase this cake, you've never gotten the help from anyone around you, yet still, when it is that you've finally reached the money to purchase the cake, you realize that every single person around you come to eat that cake with you. As a matter of fact, they want bigger slices than you will even get from the cake, right? How will you feel about that? How would you feel about that, right? So it's for us to celebrate what it is that we have helped to build, not celebrate what it is we haven't helped to build in any way at all. And I'm saying that hey, your celebration, your support could be even prayer. If you prayed for somebody to say, alright, then I want this person to have this breakthrough, I want this person to reach this goal, I want this person to accomplish this thing, And it shouldn't be that, hey, when you pray for this person to accomplish this thing, when the person accomplishes it, you're like, I prayed for you, and I was hoping that you would have accomplished it. You know, no, it shouldn't be like that. Not for the glory of you, for the glory of God, and for the help of others. Take care. God bless. Much love.
Say I won't.
Why y'all scared to be different?
Say I won't.
Why y'all scared to be different?
Say I won't.
We them outsiders.